You do see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So just 2 words of introduction on what EOSC-Pillar is. EOSC-Pillar is a project which has been recently funded in the context of the Infra-EOSC 5 call, together with other 4 projects. The aim is to help shape and build the EOSC, the European Open Science Cloud. As you probably know, the EOSC is a concept which is ongoing within the Commission since at least 3 years. It's very ambitious, and a number of initiatives has stemmed to sustain and design a very little piece of the EOSC. One of it is EOSC-Pillar. We are a so-called regional project in that we involve few countries, which are 5: Belgium, France, Germany, Austria, and Italy. Here you see some data. The project officially started on the 1st of July. Let me tell a few words more later. Is it control? Okay. So EOSC-Pillar is called Pillar because we have the ambition to sustain the European Open Science Cloud. And we have a distinctive feature with respect to other projects in that we rely very heavily on national initiatives. And national initiatives are those tables or fora where organizations, research infrastructures, e-infrastructure at the national level sit. We believe these are crucial in the sustainability of the EOSC because they are the natural link. The national initiatives are the natural among researchers and with activities. And since they deal with the research at the local, national level, they are sustainable by default because they are relevant from the national point of view. And so we believe that they are really crucial in becoming the cornerstone on which the whole EOSC building can be built. In our work plan, there is a mix of activities, some more technical and some, I would say, less technical, which are called organizational. So on one side, we do want, there is already an EOSC portal which exists today, and it was officially launched nearly 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago in Vienna. And we do want to do our share to populate this portal with further useful applications and data, so to give the researchers new tools to do their research or even new research, because we also want to focus on services which are translational and cross-community. And on the other side, we want to act at various levels to analyze the state of the art of national initiatives, first of all, and then consolidate these national initiatives, which in most countries are being born right now, and do some work to harmonize policies and try to engage with all the other EOSC-related stakeholders. And an important keyword in this is also coordination with other initiatives, especially the other projects which have been funded with the same call as I mentioned earlier. Then, last but not least, open science, open cloud also means fair data. So the ability to tag data such that it can be easily findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And we want to tackle these at various levels, from the more practical view, so I would say low level at the researchers level that engage in a number of activities to train people how to tag data, how to properly metadata their own data, and all the way up to funding bodies, trying to push them to recognize that this work cannot be done for free, and the mechanism of incentives for researchers need to be revised to also take good note of this part of the work which is normally hidden and nowadays, at least in most places, doesn't bring any real in terms of career benefit to researchers. So now the first activities we have been working on since we started on the 1st of July is the National Initiative Survey, which is why we are here today. So it is a questionnaire, as you know, and we would like to know a number of things, like what are the users, what are researchers, which kind of services researchers are using, how do they access them, both practically from the point of view of authorization and authentication methods, and in terms of access policies, how is privacy and legal aspects dealt with, what are the business models, and whether the service level agreements exist, and how is the data managed, whether it adheres to some data management schemes or data certifications procedures are followed, and so on. And in order to get a good picture of what is available in Italy and in the other states and in Europe, because the same kind of initiative is being performed as we speak also by our sister projects, and together we cover almost completely the full Europe and a little bit beyond in Asia. We identified 4 targets, 4 large respondent groups. One which we labeled e-infrastructures, which you can more easily read as service. Whether it is a data repository, data archive, or a computing center, or a grid infrastructure, they all fall in this category. The other one is research infrastructures, at least of national relevance, and or the national branch, I would say, of a Europe-wide research infrastructure. Then there is funding bodies, and a large funding bodies. Okay, there are obvious candidates like in Italy, MUR, the Ministry of University and Research, or the Health Ministry, but also large research institutions like INFN or CNR do qualify as funding bodies because they have some freedom in deciding how much fraction of their budget goes to one kind of activity and what goes to another kind of activity. And the 4th large group is universities. Okay, but let me go to next slide. Okay, the questionnaire was launched on the 3rd of October and will be open until, let me move it here so you see, will be open until the end of October, but we are discussing possible extension by 1 week or a couple of weeks. And here is the address, the email address, which was also in the email you received, which prompted you to fill the questionnaire, po@eospiller.eu. And if you have any doubts, some of you already used this email to ask questions. I have one last, a few more things to say from the methodology part. So the activity is led by University of Vienna, Lisa Necker and colleagues, and today we have Anita with us, to whom we can ask more difficult questions, technical questions. There was a multidisciplinary team which designed the questionnaire. We also tried to design it together with our sister projects so that at the European level, at the Commission level, they would be able to grab all the information from us, sister projects, and maybe complete it with some few missing countries and have a global European view. This is important because, as I say, the EOSC was born in 2016, but next year in 2020, between the 2nd and 3rd quarter of 2020, there will be a strategic decision about the EOSC. So all this information will inform somehow the strategic decisions which will be taken in a few months from now. An important thing about the questionnaire is that each mail contains a personalized URL, which links to the person who received the questionnaire and the specific service, research infrastructure, funding body, or university, for which we believe that such person is the best suited to answer. So if you received more than one email, please do note that each mail and each link is specific to one specific questionnaire. Possibly you may have received more than one mail because you are responsible for more than one service or from one research infrastructure and the service and so on. So read well before compiling the questionnaire. Every questionnaire should be filled with the right hat on, I would say. So if you are responding as an expert of a given service, all the questions have to be answered, having in mind that you are giving your writing text or clicking boxes for that specific, as an expert for that specific service. Specifically, some users have told us that the wording in some cases may be a bit misleading, such that do you think that your organization, institution is doing this and this? And if you apply for a service, for example, this means as a responsible person for that service, do you believe that you will be affected positively, negatively by EOSC and so on? Okay. As I said, we wanted to collect, this also took us quite some time. We wanted to collect a good list of addressees, such that we believe that this is the most useful thing that we could do to extract meaningful information when the questionnaire will be analyzed. We maintain a link, as I said, between the URL and the person, and this allows us to get back to you in case we are puzzled by answers, or at some point, maybe possibly during a second iteration, we would like to ask you further questions, so we have the chance to get back to you directly. Results will be shared with other projects and with the Commission, as I say, to build the European picture. However, they will be pseudonymized. They will not be fully anonymized, otherwise they will be completely useless. But they will be pseudonymized, and we will track who has access to the data, for what purpose, and so on. So your data is protected, as you have read in the mail which was sent to you. There was a link explaining how we will treat your data. However, Anita can elaborate on this if there are questions. Okay, last point. Okay, as I already said, both the questions and the methodology were shared with the other projects to have a compatible outcomes which can be merged. Okay, first point is rather obvious. Since you are here today, you do want to be captured by the questionnaire. Thank you. And then at a later stage, maybe we will get back to you to help us mobilize all the various stakeholders, several funding bodies, other services, research infrastructures, and universities. Okay, I think I'm done with my presentation.